suggestions have to do with, well, two things, sound production and character. So I thought in the beginning, I could barely hear the melody. So I thought the balance between your right hand and your left hand was like this close, but really, it should be that close. Your right hand really needs to float way above. Can we try that opening one more time? Look what happened. You played this beautiful G, right? Yeah, it really sang out. And then suddenly, we had pianissimo. But look, there's a decrescendo, right? And of course, all of us do this. We see diminuendo and we immediately go. But no, where the decrescendo begins, that's the loudest spot. Right? So it's still very loud. Ya da 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 da, or whatever, however you like to phrase it. But it can't be a sudden pianissimo. Okay, one more time. And then I have more questions about this phrase.
Okay.
So that was already much better. But by the time you got to this D, I could no longer hear it.
Oh.
So I don't think a single note there is piano. I think you're going from a forte to maybe mezzo forte. Your other choice is to make the left hand quiet. But there has to be a difference. So let's do that, because that's so important. Because I keep having this complaint throughout the piece. Concentrate on the beginning, just a little bit more. So, can you play for me just that first phrase without the left hand? And then I'll ask you questions about it. Now you did some very beautiful things. For example, I could tell that the second time da 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 was more exciting. Is that the plan? I can buy either way. What I don't like is the same as boring. Schumann does all kinds of things, but he never does boring, does he? So which one do you want to be loud?
Second one.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, you have a crescendo, but crescendo often means that we start softer. So maybe what you really want is also cool and interesting. I think we have so much more freedom in Schumann than we do in other composers. Take it. Use it.
Yeah.
Also interesting. Now, in my personal opinion, that is too busy because it's the first time we hear this phrase.
Oh.
You can do that later on in the piece. But that's only my personal taste. Yours doesn't have to be like that. I'm a simple person.
Okay.
So I like longer and kind of more structured phrases, but maybe you enjoy the little crescendos and diminuendos more. Be my guest. But we have to hear it. So in your mind right now, choose something, okay? Don't tell us. Make your left hand quiet and play the right, we'll play both hands now. I should be able to know what the plan is, okay? You can change the plan 5 minutes from now, or tomorrow, or the next day. Okay, let's do it. Very good. I heard the plan. So I was happy with that. To me, the balance still isn't correct. So what I would highly suggest is that take your iPhone and record yourself and listen. And I think you will agree with me that there's so much left hand that the right hand is not singing over. Then both hands have the melody. This piano is rich. Your left hand is sounding good. Your right hand is not audible. So can we, this is going to be a little hard, but can we go from maybe here or here without the 16th notes? I just would like to hear the duet between the hands. But right now there was no plan. So think about the plan. So you can already predict the question that I'm going to ask. Which is louder? Da 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 or da da da? Because again, I'm not hearing any difference. It should probably be the same plan as the first time because it's still the beginning. But if you want it to be different, make it different. It's your sonata. She said, and we have he said, right? Who wins the argument? Not an easy question. Because, again, you can go either way. But it's very interesting to see the differences in the two phrases, because right now, you're just basically going headlong with both of them acting together. But they're not together, right? They are set off from each other. So, can we do just her part for a moment without all the 16 notes? So notice what she did? She sort of gives up a little bit, right? That's interesting, because then she starts screaming in the very next measure. I mean, literally. Okay, let's do him. I don't know about your relationship, but you'll find out that happens a lot. That was exciting. I think that made a lot more sense, right? They actually talk to each other. Okay, so next item of business is the octaves. I was looking at you from over there, and I'm seeing that there's a lot of movement and a lot of give in your wrist on the octaves. And that creates a sound that's, well, floppy, because you're flopping. I see your hand is not huge. And so like me, a person who barely can make an octave, we have to work extra hard about the momentum going straight down. What I like to think about is not playing the octaves on this part of the thumb, but I'm closer to this part so that the angle of attack is as close to 90 degrees as it can be. That gives us a pointed sound, faster attack. Can we try? Do you notice how for each of them, for some reason, you do that gesture? It doesn't accomplish much of anything. So the way I enjoy practicing my octaves, because octaves hurt for people like us with small hands, I usually just do my thumb. Do you hear that sound? It cuts like a knife. It's amazing. So we need that when you play the octave. Yeah, don't do extra gestures. That just takes so much energy. So in general, when you play octaves, you have to think that some joint has to be higher than the fingertip, so that the octaves, loud ones, can be pushed down. So I've seen guys with huge hands, but this joint is enough to form a bridge. Not me, not you, but okay. Probably Clara Schumann, because apparently she had a huge hand. But we have to kind of get around the hand that we've been given, right? So for us, it might have to be even the wrist, because I personally cannot stretch anything else. So can you just try thinking? that all the octaves go down. Yeah, you hear that sound?
Yeah.
It's different. It's much juicier, right? It's much more direct, but it doesn't take any more effort. It's not harder. It's just thinking about eliminating of that. Okay, and then let's make life complicated. So an octave has 2 notes, right? Which one are we bringing out? And then usually we bring out the upper note, but sometimes you want to bring out the thumb for darkness, for example. You have to make a decision. Right now, I'm not hearing anything. Probably in the beginning, you want to be bringing out the pinky. So think about the pinky not playing on its side, but really good. Okay, so octaves are something that people like us work on very hard our whole lives because nature didn't give us better equipment, but we can do other things with smaller hands, so yay us. Okay, so let's talk about the next section. And this is where, Schumann invents jazz. It's all off the beat, all syncopated. Here's the problem. Our ear doesn't know that the rhythm is syncopated, and your listener cannot see the score. So somewhere you have to give us downbeats.
Oh.
And I mean, thank you, Schumann, not every measure has them, right? But when he does have them, I think you have to give them a lot of attention in the left ear. You'll see that what will happen is that your timing will change a little bit. Because the rhythm is not 1 and 2 and 1, but it's 1 and, right? So somewhere we have to have that, right? So can we try maybe a little, see? I'm not the first person to tell you that your timing will change. I couldn't see the little letters where it says delay. All right, well, do that.
Okay.
That's what it's there for. All right. That's great. But you know that this one is missing, right? There's nothing here. So you have to give us that one. And very much, see, again, I'm not the first person. I can see the markings. You gave me a clean score. It would have been more interesting to see yours.
Actually, this is my idea, so sometimes I didn't do it.
So let's try one more time and let's actually do it. More of the downbeats, you kind of forget them as you go. Of course you do. It's so difficult to change on them. But you also have to remember the delay business. You can't delay each one, just the beginning of the new phrase. So this one and that one, and then probably this one. I don't know how you're dividing the phrases. There's a feeling of, okay, now I'm going to do something interesting. But also you have to remember, it's when we climb higher that we need downbeats whenever they're available. They're not always, but like, he's giving us something. So you don't need to punch every downbeat. Just, the one before the G, the one before the D, the one, before this G and the one. So can we maybe go much slower so we can hear all of them?
Yeah.
It's hard for you to do. The first 2 were great. After that, less so. Can we try slow? Because your fingers have learned a certain way. It is very difficult to change. So can we do some kind of a terrible exaggeration? Just really go fortissimo. Just like you would never do in performance. Great. That was already so much better. I could hear that you heard them this time. Okay, so good. So now I'm on to my next question. We have 3 Gs. 3 Ds, 3 Gs, 3 Ds, right? I'm hearing that their relationship to each other is random. Sometimes the first one is softer, sometimes the first one is louder. So decide in your mind, the 3 Gs, do they go, baby bear, mama bear, papa bear? Or do they go papa bear, mama bear, baby bear? What is more logical here? Or maybe the second one is the loudest. Maybe they go up and come back down. Schumann gives us nothing, so it's up to us.
Yeah. Can I try it?
Of course, you should try it every possible way. Like if you cannot decide just by looking, then you have to decide by playing. Just go slow. Okay, so they went, right?
I prefer maybe first time up and the second one.
Oh, how interesting. Oh my goodness, that would be, I think, very interesting.
And the third one maybe just
Ooh.
keep and up.
Okay. That's a very interesting design. Show us.
Okay.
Wow, I thought that was very interesting. Great. Right? You need to have a lot more fun with this by asking yourself these questions about every single phrase. Right? Okay, so let's continue. This is my favorite. I love this theme. It is so exciting. But once again, we have the same problem, the same 2 issues. That floppy octaves, right? So they even have a little bit of that kind of a noise that we don't want. So yeah. Do you notice what you did this time? You didn't come out of the key because that's so dangerous. Oh yeah, how beautiful is that? You also did something else that was good. You went forward, because sometimes when you do it from the air, we hear dun da da. That's not how the phrase wants to be, right? Okay, can we try that one? Great. I think you're beginning to love playing octaves like that because the sound is so good and takes so much less work. Right? Okay, so then we have Schumann. He does this in so many pieces. These terrible, terrible jumps. I don't play this, but I play Carnaval, and it's oh my God. So I often ask myself the question is, why is he doing this? So for example, if Chopin did that, you would have, he wouldn't, but if he did, you would be able to say, well, he wants you to take more time because Chopin is not a sadist. Do you know what I mean? He's not trying to kill us. And sometimes I wonder if Schumann is. But I think even with Schumann, I think these jumps are in the left hand are at least as interesting as the jumps in the right hand. And there's more of them. So I think if you actually slow up just a little bit, allargando, then I think that first of all, the jumps will be easier, but also more effective. Can we try? You can exaggerate. Whenever you try new things, I always like to exaggerate first and then bring them back down to good taste or reason. Okay, so we need to talk a little bit about the technique in the left hand. Your thumb is playing over here, where thumb normally plays. But if you can think about playing the thumb here, it will be so much louder. So can we practice just doing this? Do you notice how my joints are locked? And I'm just going. And are you pressing hard? Not really. We're just using the weight of our hand. That's great. So now let's see if we can add the pinkies, but jump, basically don't jump this way, jump that way. I know, but remember, slow down. So take more. Dee-da, 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 dee-da. Two more. I mean, nice cheating, good job. But did you hear how effective that was? So can we try it in both hands? I don't expect you to be able to do it right away, of course, but let's just try. It's very hard to do that first because, of course, your brain takes you right back to the familiar.
Yeah.
Right, but if you think about it, so physics, well, I don't think it's even physics, but the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, right? But that's not so for our hand because of the way our joints are made. The shortest distance, the quickest, is actually like a semicircle. Like this is actually hard because it uses whatever that muscle is, which is hard. This is easy because it uses that muscle, whatever that is. But don't flop.
Oh.
Yeah. Very good. Those who are already completely different. I love them. So now, these are great, all beautiful. I'm wondering if we can get even more sound out of a piano that's richer on those. Can we try different techniques, different ways of playing chords work for different people?
Yeah.
So don't be scared. I'll do something to you when you play, okay? You can start from anywhere. Did you feel it when you're using your entire torso? I'm weak, so that works for me. So make sure your feet are very secure. So I think that's safer. A lot of people like to just use nice free weight, but that requires air, right? Requires you to play from above. I find that things that go from above don't always land in the right place. So if you're already touching the chord, it makes me feel secure. And then just shoving it in there. And don't push down, push into that wall. Yeah, so you're doing a different technique. It's very loud, it's great. It gives you tendinitis, so be very, very careful. It's an amazing technique. Leon Fleischer used to teach it all the time, but then you're in pain afterwards. So don't practice it a lot, but it's directly up. Like I'm gonna do it on your arms so you feel it. Do you feel how much force is in that? It's amazing, but dangerous.
Yeah, how about just...
That creates very beautiful sound, and I love it, but you have to really do it because you did it halfway. That way, to make that sound really work, you actually have to feel like you're ripping the chord from the key. Try it. Can I try to show you? I need to sit. Just for a moment. Oh my goodness, you sit on the floor. That was scary. Are you a Glenn Gould fan? Okay, that scared me for a moment. I might not be able to raise my arm in this way. You have to follow through because you're doing this. That's not enough. Listen to the ring versus it's not the same ring. You see how I feel like I'm grabbing these notes. Okay, now I'm gonna try to get. Okay, that was cute. Make sure that the windows in the next room are rattling. So I wanted to only touch on one more point here. I'm very confused about the phrasing here. That's cute. Once. Right? I mean, some effects are so memorable that you can only use them once. But also, I think if you're going to do that, I mean, it's a cool effect, but then you kind of already destroyed it in our ear by doing a diminuendo here. So you've already gone down. I mean, slowly, but you've gone down. If this were kind of a continuous crescendo, and then you drop that, I think that would work better. Because right now we're getting like, you know, funky up and down. I think that's a little bit too much.
So just make your phrase long. Yeah.
Always, always. I mean, just crescendo all the way through and then do the cool effect. Well, you can make it much more effective if you allargando here. Do you know the word? So it's when you get, you get both louder and a little bit slower, just a little bit, da da da, dee da dee da. In any case, any subito from loud to soft on the piano needs time because our strings just ring and ring, especially on a big instrument. All right, this is already, to my ear, much better. Did you notice though, you already sort of did that here. You already pulled back here. So you kind of stole half of the effect already. That's for Sonata. Again, it's hard to change on the spot because again I'm hearing da dee da 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 da. I thought that was much more effective, right? So my general advice, not just in this piece, but in every piece, is actually think about your phrase, because we pianists, we tend to think with our fingers. We sit down and let our fingers do it, and we're so happy because our music is so beautiful, and and our fingers just flow. But do they though? In some composers, I think, in Chopin, very often, your fingers really can't think for you. I don't think that works here. Schumann doesn't really compose the way a pianist does at a piano, right? So we can't quite approach his music the way we would approach Chopin or Mozart or Rachmaninoff or somebody who we know composed by playing. You actually have to think these phrases through. And you can usually come up with more than one answer. And that's so much fun because it's a long piece, right? Okay, I think you're more than on your way in this one. So I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Just to spend a little time thinking about it and a little time, thumping into the piano. I know it looks bizarre, but it sounds good. That's all we care about. All right, well, thank you so much for playing and being so open to trying new things. Great. And good luck and everything.